Away from another $1,000 for you. Not coming up here at 3:30, but at 4:30, 5:30, and 6:30 before we get out of here. A shot for you to get yourself $1,000 and pay some bills if that's what you need it for. If you're listening to the show on iHeartRadio from outside of Ohio, tell me where you do that, and we'll make sure that you're on our bureau chief map. Nick listens in Volant, PA. Dustin is a new bureau chief in Columbia, South Carolina. Nick is in Gainesville, Florida. Jonathan's in Memphis. Andrea is in Tyler, Texas. I was reading about Texas, by the way. They really came late to the stay-at-home order party, you know? Mm-hmm. All these red states that thought it was a hoax or whatever. And Texas was among them. Their lieutenant governor was the guy that I played for you a few days ago because he said, hey, we got to sacrifice some grandparents for the economy. I'm sure they'd all line up and say yes. But the agriculture commissioner down in Texas, he goes, hey, listen, there is a rule. He goes, people are saying we have a shortage of toilet paper. He goes, it's not really necessarily true. Just there's a law in Texas that all packaging has to have the labels printed in English. And so he's like, we don't need English labeled toilet paper.
Right.
There's no language barrier for toilet paper, so if we could just kind of find a loophole for that law, we can really get a lot of this toilet paper out.
All labels on everything?
Law for consumer packaging that requires the labels be printed in English.
Exclusively in English? Or English as an option?
Probably both.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know. But they're like, that would be a good solution to our toilet paper shortage. Boy, everybody in Texas, doesn't matter what you do, all these guys wearing hats. Mm-hmm. And I really do like Texas. We've been there on a number of occasions, and you feel the vibe in Texas when you're there. You know what I mean? It was one of the states that famously did not implode in the mortgage crisis back in 2008 because it was a very open it was very business friendly. You know, there are a lot of criticisms against Republican administrations for that very reason, but it really saved Texas's ass at that time. People weren't losing their homes, things like that. They've got other problems. I mean, Houston is a city that's exploded. And, you know, anytime there's a natural disaster, Houston just gets slammed because of the way that they've built that city up. Where, you know, if a hurricane comes in, places flood because there's nowhere for the water to go anywhere.
Just a couple months ago didn't that happen?
Because they've paved over, you know, all the grasslands that used to absorb large amounts of water. So Houston has really blown up over the past 10 years. But yeah, when you're in Texas and you're walking around and it's hot and it's dusty, and you can just smell the Texas in the air. Mm-hmm. There's barbecue wafting, and there's a cop pulling you over, and you got a beer in your hand, and he goes, all right, just be careful. It's that kind of thing, you know? There's a lot of it that's kind of old school.
Texas was on my...
So I like Texas very much.
That was on my list of states for this year. Was
Texas.
To go to Texas.
To perform or just to go?
Well, both. I mean, ideally, I would go there...
To perform.
To perform. That's how I take most of my vacations, you know, take a couple extra days, but it's essentially a paid vacation, you know? I've been wanting to go to Texas for a few years now, and I just haven't made it yet.
Yeah. Well, and there are a lot of places in Texas that are unlike other places in Texas, too. I mean, obviously
Austin,
it's a very big state.
Yeah,
Austin is not necessarily representative of Texas, but it is a lot of fun.
That's where I was thinking. I mean, I know they have a really good comedy scene, and it's a lot more liberal than most of Texas, you know, so.
Well, early in my career, I had a job offer from Dallas, and at the time, I was like, boy, that would be a big jump to go to Dallas. But it was not just walking around. There's like grown men in hats and boots, and you know.
You don't like that?
Well, it's fine, but it's like, you know, it's fine if you're in the middle of nowhere. But I mean, like you're in the middle of downtown Dallas. They teach rodeo at the college, that kind of stuff. So I'm sure I would feel differently about it now. But back then, I was
had an upturned nose to it.
Nah, well, maybe it wasn't my vibe.
Yeah.
It wasn't for me.
It was the vegan ice cream of destinations.
Dallas was?
Yeah.
I like that look. I like a good cowboy look.
Alan, if you criticize Poundcake so much, why did you hire him? Because I think Poundcake's funny. That's why I hired him. What, just because I criticize somebody means that they should have never been here? Or I don't understand that kind of binary thinking, by the way. Because I think he's funny.
Yeah,
but I always want people to be
stuff either.
I always want people to be better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd feel weird if you didn't critique me.
Would you?
Yeah, I would. You think I came in here and I was like, oh, Alan's going to love this, or he's not going to say anything about it. I knew full well.
Well, no, this specifically, yeah. Alan, I'm 29, and when I turned 25, I had the same problem. I couldn't eat dairy anymore or greasy restaurant meat like burgers. I'll throw it all up.
I've said it before. My shellfish allergy didn't start until like 2014 or 15. I ate shrimp. I would like thaw a bag of like cocktail
What's it
shrimp and eat the
like
whole thing.
Having a body that's a traitor.
It's awful. Honestly, it just my
Excuse
whole
you.
life.
What do you think will be the next food item to which you'll become allergic?
I don't know.
Ooh,
that's
that's
what makes
fun.
me nervous.
What do you
know
not
what?
want it to be?
Nuts. I'm
Love
afraid I'll
nuts.
get like a peanut allergy or something like that. Because I do enjoy a good slice of peanut butter toast. Peanut butter and jelly is a big. I like all that.
Yum.
Pretzels dipped in peanut butter. That's like what I'm scared would happen next. So I had a friend that I worked with at a restaurant who he was probably in his late 30s, early 40s, and he was starting to develop a nut allergy. And he said it would like start in his forehead. He would like feel it would get hot, and he would start to get a little bit of hives on like his face and stuff. And he's like, it's gonna be full blown by the end of the year, and then I
Wow.
won't be able to eat them anymore.
Hives.
Might as well enjoy
The whole
it.
thing.
Yeah.
We were talking yesterday about Andrew Cuomo, the governor of New York, who, among other things, was apparently a photo of him made it look like he had nipple piercings.
Hey, look, hey, listen.
So he doesn't have nipple piercings is what you're going to say?
Well, I don't know.
Man.
I'm on team no nipple
He must
piercings.
have taken them
'cause-
out then, because those I've seen as a gay man. I've been to many leather bars. Those are exactly what it looks like when one of those older daddies leans over the bar. And
Older daddies.
Yes, and their nipples are, because they have a little flab. They have they're flat toes, and they have a little bit of flab, and they have those nipple piercings in there. That's exactly
Yeah,
what
they
it
got the
looks like.
barbells.
Okay,
and
I'm
it's just
looking.
like
Is this
that.
the picture?
Yeah.
I'm looking at the picture, but he has them on like multiple parts of his boob, though.
That's what I'm saying.
So
I
has he
think
got,
maybe
like,
he's got
crosses?
maybe he's got super bumpy areola.
He might, or he's got weird chest hair, weird nipple hair.
I don't know.
So that's some strong. That's damn. How strong is your nipple hair when you see the indent?
Well, you
in
can
your
see
shirt?
his belly. He's not like a fit man, so it's.
Areola.
No, he is a fit man. I mean, he might be a little saggy because the guy's like 65 years old, but he like
He's in good
lifts
shape.
and yeah, he's in good shape.
Really?
Anyway, his former girlfriend. Listen, I used to have nipple rings.
You
I
did
thought you
not.
had one.
I had two.
Oh my god!
Did
And,
they connect to
uh,
your Prince Albert? Be a
Hi-oh!
little train
trifecta.
down there?
For a very brief period of time.
Oh boy.
I was always
I mean,
worried
that looks like
somebody
a
was going to be on
barbell.
top of me and go at him like they were a grenade.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's trying to start a lawnmower. But his former girlfriend, he's not married, he's divorced. His former girlfriend, Sandra Lee, who was a chef, I think, in New York or something. They were together for a long time, like 15 years or something. And she was very upset at people for body shaming. Now, you'll notice she never denies or confirms.
Yeah.
She just she casts it up to body shaming, which I think
I
is
don't
a
think
real.
anyone's shaming
No.
him. We just want to know the truth.
That's
Also,
right.
Side note: how do you date
you
someone?
got nipple rings up in New York.
That makes it a more interesting story. It's not
is that?
body shaming,
I wonder.
but she turned it into body shaming. You wonder what?
I wonder how, like, they were together 15 years and no one pulled the trigger and said, "Hey, let's get married."
Some people don't need to get married.
15 years?
So
Well, they're
what?
both professionals. I mean, you
Okay.
know, he's in politics and she's a
That's a long
probably
time.
don't want to do
man.
it. They're older. What are they gonna get married for?
Okay.
I would just want to take a moment and say, I woke up this morning to a lot of stuff going on online, a lot of stories being written, and a lot of nonsense being said. And I just want to say, body shaming is not okay. It's never going to be okay. And when people are out in the front lines working so hard for all of our benefits, to then turn around and body shame,
Boy, nice dodge. She throws in the people on the front lines. We just want to know what the guy's got barbells in there, man.
That's it.
We're not
That's
body
it.
shaming.
I would respect her so much if she was just like, yes, he has nipple piercings, and they're pretty freaking hot too.
or whatever.
I sucked on him.
Clean them with my mouth. Boy. Antiseptic. Wash them.
shame on you. Knock it off. Do something to uplift people and make the world a better place. Not take cheap shots that are unnecessary.
Yeah, you know what would make the world a better place? Finding out that the governor of New York has nipple barbells. That would absolutely cheer me up. That would brighten my day in a way that I cannot explain.
I want to know
Just 'cause
all
it's
of the
so
elected
strange.
officials' tattoos, piercings, and That's all.
Have any of our presidents had a tattoo?
I'm sure somewhere they're always wearing suits and stuff though. It's not like you see them.
But you see them on vacation. Like they had paparazzi. Obama was like a big hunk in like the newspaper, or not newspaper, but like the magazines. That girl, the Obama girl, used to sing, "I'm in love with Obama." Don't you remember her?
Yeah, the Obama girl. Mm-hmm. Theodore Roosevelt, Teddy Roosevelt, was the only president to have a confirmed tattoo on his body.
What
Roosevelt,
was it?
Don't know.
Muppet Baby. on
What
his
tattoo
butt.
did Teddy Roosevelt have?
Ask me about my canal.
It's the Tennessee Valley Authority. He had his family crest tattooed on his chest.
Wow.
The whole. I hope it's the whole chest.
He had
Like
a chest
big
piece.
Chest
Chest
piece.
piece,
Yeah.
that's
Teddy
right.
Roosevelt, man.
Yeah.
Other rumored tattoo presidents include a tomahawk on the inner thigh of Andrew Jackson. That's a little problematic.
I think at the time.
On the inner thigh, though, of all the places.
But didn't he like kill a bunch of Indians too? I mean, isn't that what he's known for? Want to see what I did it with? Let me spread my legs. All right.
It's a
They
blanket.
call it the hammer.
It's a blanket. Yeah. What is POX short for? Nothing. Did Ronald Reagan have a tattoo? Yes, but he could never remember where it was.
It's jelly beans.
Right. So there you go.
Interesting.
Teddy Roosevelt. Now, what I'd like to know is, more importantly, how many people have a tattoo of Teddy Roosevelt on their body?
Ooh.
Right?
Or presidents in general.
Sure.
I knew a kid in high school that got Ronald Reagan tattooed on his arm.
Abe Lincoln's probably a big one.
I hope that that person is homeless.
He did. He was like a punk rocker, and he did it as a joke.
Wait, who
Sure
was
he
it? Who
was.
did they have on them?
He was a
Ronald
he was a
Ronald
big
Reagan.
Dead Kennedys fan.
Yeah.
Big Jello Biafra guy. Teddy Roosevelt. Was he the walk tall and carry a big stick,
Yeah.
speak slowly and carry a big stick guy?
Walk softly and carry a
Walk
big stick.
softly and carry a big stick. All right.
I feel
That'd be a
it.
good tattoo.
Yeah.
And he has it right above his
His
junk.
big stick.
Yeah.
This is me walking softly, and here's my big stick. Yeah, all right. Well, there
And
you
don't
go.
leave home without it.
Yeah.
A lot of people have Teddy Roosevelt tattoos.
Oh, yeah?
Yep, you type that into a Google search.
Okay. And for what reason do you think?
Because he looks like the guy from Wild Wild West, probably.
The guy from Wild Wild West.
Doesn't he?
I assume you're talking about the
Which
movie.
guy?
Yeah, the white
Kenneth
guy.
Branagh?
Yeah.
The villain?
Or am I thinking of Night at the Museum?
I think you're thinking of that.
Robin Williams.
And that's
I think
Robin
that's-
Williams, homie.
Because he
Robin
played...
Williams playing Teddy Roosevelt.
Oh my God.
He looks like that Night at the Museum guy.
He nailed it, is what I'm saying.
Robin Williams played Teddy Roosevelt.
R.I.P.
Roosevelt.
Yeah.
That would be the one I would get tattooed.
Okay.
How do you say his last name?
Roosevelt.
Poundcake.
Roosevelt.
Roosevelt. Alan?
He keeps saying Roosevelt.
Oh, me? Roosevelt?
Yes.
Well, it's two O's. Is it not Roosevelt?
Doesn't matter.
It's just like Worcester. Worcester?
Well, I mean, I had friends that went to Roosevelt High School.
Roosevelt.
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 I've never heard someone say Roosevelt.
Well, you can't say that anymore, pal.
I know.
No, I get it. People probably say Roosevelt, but I mean, it's two O's. You're going to besmirch that second O?
Yes.
On Teddy Theodore. We call him Theodore, too? Theodore Roosevelt?
Theodore
Are you,
Roosevelt.
Are you mispronouncing the whole thing?
Theodore Roosevelt.
Theodore
I call him Roosevelt. Can I just have that?
You can
No,
have whatever
not
you
today.
want. You're having
Not
a day.
today.
You can have whatever
Stop
you
being
want.
such a menus. So it's, see, you can, I'll allow Roosevelt, but you're not going to tell me that Roosevelt is wrong.
I'd say it's wrong. I've always heard
Well,
it pronounced
things aren't always pronounced how they-
Roosevelt.
I've heard
Yeah.
a lot of things pronounced the wrong way, but I sound like the a-hole when I correct people because so many people people hit me up. They'd be like, "You're such a word nerd. How come you don't say fort instead of forte?" I go, "Because nobody knows that that's what it is. So if I say that, I sound stupid because
Like-
everybody else is dumb.
There's how to pronounce
So I've
Roosevelt.
given up on some words.
And it's become forte over the years.
No, it hasn't. It's
Yes,
still
it has,
fort.
because
Because of so many people mispronouncing it.
Because it also sounds better as forte. It's not my fort. Then you just think of someone with a bunch of blankets and pillows stacked up.
Well, that's fun too. Nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, after a long period of time, if enough people mispronounce something, that's how it becomes pronounced.
Exactly. Roosevelt.
Roosevelt, Bill.
Roosevelt.
How did Robin Williams pronounce it in Night at the Museum?
I never saw the movie.
I actually haven't either.
Wow, I've seen that. You guys haven't seen it. I've seen it.
No, I never watched that one.
Oh, okay. First one was quite enjoyable.
Yeah.
Didn't see the second one.
Well, on TheodoreRooseveltCenter.org, I pulled up a thing that says the president was accused of mispronouncing his own name.
Boy, imagine that. You're accused of mispronouncing your own name. Jacques!
That sounds
Okay.
like something that they would do with Obama. Like, oh, it's not pronounced Obama.
Right.
There's like
It's Obama.
there's like an article, a really old article.
I guess it would have to be. It's about Roosevelt. Roosevelt. All right.
It's subject to over 200 variations of pronunciation.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Well, then mine's one of them. Then I'm not wrong.
The president pronounces his name Roosevelt in 3 syllables,
Okay.
and that's
Well, Roosevelt is still 3 syllables.
But you'd
Yeah,
have to
okay.
see it.
As
You'd have to
Rose,
see
yeah.
it.
All right.
Yeah.
Roosevelt. Roosevelt.
All right. Well, what is
Yeah.
it? Dutch? What's the etymology of that? Anyway, okay, fine. Will you feel better if I say Roosevelt?
A
little bit.
Yeah, a lot. I'd
Okay.
feel a lot better.
So, Teddy Roosevelt.
Thank you.
But FDR is still Franklin Delano Roosevelt to me, Bill. All right?
All right.
I'll give you Roosevelt, but I'm taking the other Roosevelt.
Well, at least then I'll know which one you're talking about.
Yeah. That's right. Hey, did you see that Roosevelt documentary? No, I was watching the Roosevelt one a couple of nights ago, though.
Not a kicky footer.
Not a kicky footer. No.
Those legs weren't moving anywhere.
That's right. So again,
Dead weight.
we've gotten no confirmation or denial on the Andrew Cuomo nipple piercing situation.
I think
I don't
they're
know
nipples.
why his ex-girlfriend felt compelled to post some video if she's not going to give us new information. If you're just posting that to hector us about what we should be doing, fine. Do that on your own time, right? We want to know if this guy is sporting some metal under there.
I think he is. Put me in team nipple piercing.
I
Okay.
don't think so, because based on the pictures that you see, there's a lot of bumps around it. So I'm wondering if he just has like moles or something.
I would think that as the governor of New York, especially now, this might not be the time that you would want to wear a shirt that would show off your nipple piercings.
Oh, right.
You're trying to kind of focus the conversation and not make yourself something else.
I don't know. They look like barbells to me.
All right.
But-
I mean, you could
I
be
see,
right.
I see the ones where it is
See
more.
what I'm talking about? There's like 5 of them. There's
Yeah.
like 2 that look like barbells, and then there's like 3 more smaller ones around it. So unless he's got dream catchers under there, like attached to his,
Maybe he
Barbell.
stapled up or
Yeah.
something. Maybe he has like a defect that we didn't know of, and he
Yeah.
had like surgery and he doesn't want us to know.
might be.
They had to stitch up his nipples, and that's just there to keep them together.
Hello, I'm Dr. Stitch-a-Nip.
Wow.
Where's that show? I'd watch that.
Hello, who's this?
Hey, Alan, this is Scott.
Hey, what's up, Scott? How are you?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm good.
Yeah, you guys were talking about presidents, and I happen to be one of the few that do have a tattoo of a president, and it's James A. Garfield, our 20th president.
James Abram Garfield on your body?
James A. Garfield on my my forearm, actually.
Why?
And why?
So 10 years
Because he was
ago-
assassinated?
Well, twice. So
He was assassinated twice, Bill. This is a little
First
known
his body,
fact.
then
of-
his character.
Yeah, that,
So I don't know if you remember, about 10 years ago, the head of James A. Garfield was beheaded at Hiram College, and I happened to be the...
you mean the statue?
Yes.
Okay.
So that was our ongoing joke, was he's the only president to be assassinated twice.
I see. Wasn't he killed by? He was killed by a disappointed office seeker. Yes.
Yes, he was.
He was assassinated like it wasn't even a year into the term.
Yeah, he was shot, but he didn't die right away. He had like 3 days in the hospital or something like that.
Wow. All right.
So why is he tattooed on your body?
Because the statue where he went to school had that head decapitated. He said he's the only president who's been assassinated twice.
Yeah, Simpsons did it.
Where on your body is it?
It's on the inside of my forearm. It was me and one of my other friends decided it would be a funny prank because he was big into The Simpsons. So we did Bart Simpson proud by taking the head of James A. Garfield because he took the head of Jebediah Springfield.
Is it big or is it just like a little thing that's there?
No, it's my entire forearm.
Wow. Look
Just
at
his
that.
head?
Yeah, it's like a black. It's a black and gray tattoo of his head, and then a rose underneath of it.
What did it, Scott? What did it cost you?
Actually, it wasn't as much as you would think. One of my buddies is a tattoo artist, but it was about $180.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Bad at all.
No, it's not.
wow.
I'll send you guys a photo.
Yeah, okay, good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Scott. There's Scott out in Kent. He's got that James A. Garfield tat right on his forearm.
Take it easy, Scott. Remember, a noble spirit embiggens the smallest man.
I was going to say, I hate Mondays. Garfield said that, right?
Yeah, he sure did. Love lasagna.
That's what should be under there, not a rose.
I love lasagna. Boy,
Saw a
I'll tell you
theory
what.
on that about why he loves lasagna and hates Mondays.
How did you
'Cause-
come across a theory about Garfield the cat?
There's a lot of time to be on the internet right now.
He ate so much lasagna at Sunday dinner that he was in a food coma for Monday.
No, his parents were killed on a Monday.
Wow, that was not where I was going with
That
it.
makes it killed, not just hit by a car. They were killed. You mean by someone else or by happenstance?
They were
okay.
murdered.
They were
killed.
murdered, so now he hates all Mondays.
Yes.
Right, but how do you account for the lasagna?
I
love?
can't remember what the lasagna part was. It was something like, and they were
They didn't make his parents into lasagna. did they?
no,
Okay.
because it was something that was like lasagna was like the memory that he had, and so he loves lasagna as a tribute to his parents.
So the
that
whole
were murdered on a Monday.
I see the whole thing. So it's basically Garfield is. There's a Batman analogy there. is what
Right.
you're saying. Okay.
I'm going to go with food coma. Makes me feel a little better.
Then parent murder?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, fine. Well, potato. Hey, John.
Hey, Alan. Hey, everyone.
What's going on, John?
Not much. I wanted to say thank you first off for providing some sanity to everyone else out there.
Oh, well, thank you for listening.
Yep. Bill, I just wanted to point out attention to detail. You were being amenus to Teddy Roosevelt's quotes. It was not walk softly, it was speak softly.
Speak softly.
Yeah, well, I wasn't doing him any favors either. Bill was trying to save me on that one.
I thought it was walk softly. But
Right,
it's speak
instead of
softly.
walk
Okay.
hardly.
Shame.
It's the opposite of
Hardly.
softly. Loudly.
Walk hardly and carry a tiny branch.
Hardly walk. That was the other Roosevelt.
Walking
Thank you.
hardly or hardly walking.
Thank you for correcting me. I appreciate that.
All right. Thank you,
No
John.
Shame.
There's John. All right.
Menus.
Speak softly and carry a big stick.
Oh.
Words to live by, right?
Walk softly is like when you're sneaking to the fridge.
Bing, 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 bing. Get some of that Halo top. Bing, 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 bing. All right. Let me break. Well, I like that echo out there. Oh! Okay. If you want to get a text in, 35192, AlanCoxShow.com, and anywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
The Alan Cox Show.